Thank you so much to Dr. Eric Sigman and to Dominic Tomalin from Cats College, Cambridge. That was a session full of such useful information that I'm sure we can all take on board on Global Wellness Day 2020. And in a moment, we're going to hand over to Monica Poli in Italy, who is going to talk to us about nutrition and immune system boosting. And I'm also going to be handing over the baton of presenting to Diane Nettleton, as she is going to take over for the next segment of Global Wellness Day 2020. So I hope you continue enjoying the live stream today. We hope you've enjoyed the last couple of hours, and stay well.
Ciao a tutti, and thank you to Global Wellness Day for having me. My name is Monica Poli. I'm the skin, science and lifestyle specialist at Comfort Zone of Davines Group. Today I'm here in our scientific garden that is so beautiful during this time you can see behind me. I'm so honored to celebrate the Global Wellness Day with all of you. Today, more than ever, the health of ourselves and our family is on the top of our mind. For this reason, I will be spending the next 30 minutes talking about nutrition and how we can boost our natural defense, so the immune system. Nutrition is the way we nourish our organism, and we select specific elements that are able to give energy to our body. The macronutrients are mainly composed by three different categories: carbohydrate, proteins, and fat. Each of them is able to give us specific energy. For example, carbohydrate and protein give 4 calories per gram. Fat gives 9 calories per gram. This kind of energy is used by our body in a different way. Carbohydrate can be divided in 2 main part or categories. We have the simple carbohydrate composed by 1 or 2 molecules of sugar, and they give immediate energy to our organism. So for this reason, for example, while you are doing fitness or sports, carbohydrates are an immediate source of energy. Then we have simple, complex carbohydrates that are composed by several molecules of sugar, and they require more time to release energy. For example, all the pasta and bread, they are composed by complex carbohydrates. Food is the energy we select for our organism. Depending on the food we choose, we give different kind of energy, but also different kind of message to our organism. In fact, we need to understand that it's not just a matter of calories, but it's a matter of message we send to our DNA. In fact, the science called epigenetic is demonstrating that depending on the food we select, our DNA expresses different power. For example, in the bee world, we have only one queen bee that is bigger in size compared to the working bee, and is the only one having the ability to reproduce the family. And so if we see the DNA of the queen bee and the DNA of the working bee, is the same, but the queen bee eat the royal jelly and the working bee eat only honey. Both food are rich in element, but the royal jelly is really like an amazing food rich not only in macronutrients, so carbohydrate, protein and fat, but also in mineral salts and in vitamin. This makes the difference and create the queen bee that increase in size and in weight, and is the only one that is able to reproduce the family. So, understanding this, we can also understand the importance of the food we select each day for our organism. So it's not just a matter of having the energy to do things, but also a matter of express our DNA at the best. There are three macro categories of key element in food: carbohydrate, fat and protein. Carbohydrates can be divided in two parts: simple carbohydrates that are mainly composed by one or two molecules of sugar and glucose, and the complex carbohydrate that are composed by a long chain of molecules of sugar, and they require more time to develop energy. And so depending on the carbohydrate you select, the energy will be immediately available or will require longer time. An example of simple carbohydrate, for example, are sugar, honey, or complex carbohydrate are pasta or bread. Proteins are the building block, are composed by a building block called amino acid. There are two different kinds of amino acid: essential and not essential. The not essential amino acid can be produced by our organism, so we don't need to search in the food for not essential amino acid. Essential amino acid cannot be produced by our body, and so we need to select the food that contain those categories of proteins. And the main activity of protein is related to muscle, related to specific element of our metabolism, enzyme, for example, and also hormones. So they are very important to keep our organism healthy. The last categories of macronutrients is fats. Fats actually can be divided in three different groups. The first group is trans fats, and they are not very healthy for our body. They are connected to the heart disease, and they can be found, for example, in margarine. The saturated fats, they are linked to the animal source, so for example butter or cream, and again they are connected to heart disease problem. The third category of fat is called unsaturated fats. The molecule of this fat can present one double bond, and they are called monounsaturated fat, or multiple double bond, and they are called polyunsaturated fat. They are very healthy for our heart, and they protect against specific disease. The origin of this fat is mainly vegetable. They come from avocado, nuts, seeds, and also olives, but we can find them also in some animal source like salmon. Another category related to nutrition that I wanted to highlight is water. In fact, our body is composed up to 60 or 17%, depending on the moment of our life, is composed by water. The water is essential for detoxifying activities in our body, but it's also linked to the normal metabolism that we realize every day in the different parts of our organism. Without water, we cannot survive. Without food, we can survive for some days. Together with the macronutrients, so carbohydrate, fat and proteins, we have the micronutrient, and they are essential too for our health. For macronutrient, we means vitamins and mineral salts. Some mineral salts are really essential for the metabolism, for the tissue and organs. For example, magnesium is linked to a correct ability of nerve to communicate and to transmit message. Is also important to regulate the blood pressure and the sugar level in the blood. Too little magnesium can lead to weakness, to sleep problem and other symptoms. We can find magnesium in nuts, in cereals and in some dietary. Another key element for our health is zinc. Zinc plays a role in protein creation and in immune system performance. We can find zinc in oyster, beef and cereal, and too little zinc is linked to hair loss and skin problem. Let's talk now about iron. Iron is involved in the red blood cells creation. The red blood cells are responsible to bring oxygen in all our organism, and the iron is also involved in the tissue creation. Too little iron can lead to anemia and to a really profound weakness. We can find iron in the meat, we can find iron in tofu and spinach. Selenium plays a crucial role in reproductive and thyroid disease. Selenium is also a very good antioxidant, so protects cells from aging. Too little selenium can lead to infertility problem or arthritis, and we can find selenium in Brazil nut, tuna and oatmeal. I said that selenium works as antioxidant. So let's explain better what does it mean antioxidant, and also let's talk about free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules produced naturally inside our organism each day by the metabolism. Let's say like they are waste of our metabolism. Unfortunately, they are dangerous. So we have natural defense against free radicals called antioxidant system. Those systems work to eliminate the natural free radical produced, but when our lifestyle is not correct, we increase this production. For example, if we expose to the sun without protection, if we eat, we select too rich food in terms of fat, or also if we smoke, if we are a smoker, or if we drink too much alcohol, the quantity of free radical increases and the natural ability to eliminate them is not enough. For this reason, it is important to add additional system, antioxidant system that can support our organism in eliminating free radicals. Why free radicals are so dangerous? Because the free radical is created when a molecule loses an electron, and this means that it's not stable anymore. So it's going around our organism searching for the electron that create again balance in the molecule. This electron is taken from our organism, and so create imbalance in our natural, we say, barriers, like the skin. For example, free radical damage a lot the skin, but also in our key organs. That's the reason why we need to eliminate free radicals. Selenium is a natural antioxidant element that you can find, for example, in several supplements against against aging. Why against aging? Because during the aging process, the free radicals number increase and the natural defense against free radical decrease. So having some supplements or adding food that naturally contain selenium, like oyster, as I say, or oatmeal, help our body to be more protected against the oxidation process. There are other processes that can damage our organism that comes from food, from bad food. For example, glycation. Glycation is linked to an excess quantity of sugar. In fact, sugar is one of the worst elements we can introduce in our body. Sugar is damaging the natural ability of the body to maintain flexibility. For example, talking about the skin, sugar damages especially proteins that create the substrate of the skin, like collagen and elastin. And those proteins are flexible. They are able to be smooth, but with an excess of sugar, they begin very rigid, and so the skin can be damaged easily due to the fact that there's a lack of flexibility. Talking about micronutrients, we have mineral salts in this family and vitamins. Vitamins are present in small amount in our body, but they are essential for our health. We have two families of vitamins: water-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble vitamins. The water-soluble vitamins are composed by vitamin B family and vitamin C. Vitamin B can be found in several foods, like dietary, tofu, and mainly in cereal and legumes. The vitamin C can be found in citrus fruits, in the elderberry, and a lot of vegetables. A lack of vitamin B is linked to a profound feeling of weakness and tiredness, because with a lack of vitamin B, our body is not able to use the energy that comes from the food. A lack of vitamin C is linked to a skin problem and also a low performance of the immune system. All the water-soluble vitamins are essential because they can be lost very quickly. For example, in the cooking water, if you cook a lot of vegetables or cereals, those vitamins will be lost in the cooking water. The second family is composed by fat-soluble vitamins. In this family, we can find vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin D, and for example, vitamin A is strictly connected to skin health, but also connected to an antioxidant effect and ability. And as I explained before, contrasting the free radical is the key to contrast aging and to maintain health of our organism. Vitamin D is essential for the immune system, for example. The vitamin D is naturally produced by our body, but not in a very good quantity if we are not exposing our organism to the sun. We can find vitamin D in some specific food like salmon, eggs, and cereals. The vitamin K is linked to the ability of our skin to heal. A lack of vitamin K is strongly connected to pathologies of the main barrier of our organism, so the skin. Vitamin K can be found in broccoli and in several vegetables. Vitamin A can be found, for example, in all the red fruits. The immune system is a complex network of cells and tissues that are constantly looking out for invaders. Once the enemy is spotted, a complex attack is mounted. The immune system can be divided mainly in two parts: innate and adaptive. We are all born with some level of immunity. our innate response is very quick, and the immune system will attack the invaders from day one. The innate response is the key to protect our body starting from the first day of our life. The adaptive immunity is different person by person because it's linked to the virus and bacteria we meet during our life, and they are different person by person. Once we meet a bacteria or a virus, a complex reaction is activated in our body, and the adaptive immunity actually requires from 5 to 10 days to produce the weapon that are protecting our body from the next invasion of the same virus, the same pathogen. Those weapons are called antibodies, and they are a kind of memories against virus we keep for all the life. So we understood the importance of keeping our immune system health. Our lifestyle is influencing, and also the environmental elements are influencing the immune system performance. So we can support and boost the immune system selecting some very special tips every day. For example, immune system is mainly produced in our gut tissue. This is true. So this means that if we take care of our gut, we are sure that the immune system is working better. In fact, our gut is producing some elements and cells that are defending our organism each day, but unfortunately is also in contact with bacteria that comes from the food. So the immune system must be able to protect, but also to tolerate the good bacteria coming from food, to eliminate the bad one and to tolerate the good one. How we can help our gut tissue to be in good condition? There are two elements that can help the gut tissue to be in good condition: probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics are microorganisms that are cooperate with the family of microorganisms naturally present in our gut tissue called microbiota, and they are supporting the ability of this microorganism to protect our body. The prebiotics are substrates that nourish these microorganisms. Examples of probiotics are yogurt and kefir. Examples of prebiotics are the family of oligosaccharides. Soluble fiber are able to switch cells from pro-inflammatory condition to anti-inflammatory condition, and so to help our organism to heal faster. So even adding soluble fiber in our daily diet is helping our gut to work better. I remind you the importance of vitamin D for the general health of the organism, but especially for the immune system. Vitamin D is able to activate a category of cells that are strongly defending us from infection. Those cells that are immune system cells are called T cells, and they are activated only in the presence of a correct quantity of vitamin D. And I remind you that vitamin D can be found in some food like salmon, egg and cereals, but not in a very high quantity. So the only way we can get the correct level of vitamin D is exposing our body to the sun with the correct protection and in the correct measure, but exposing every day our body to the sun. Another way to boost the immune system is through prolonged fasting. In nature, when animals are sick, they stop eating. A human being is the only one that keep eating even if there's an infection or if it doesn't feel very well. Actually, this is a primal instinct to stop eating because it transfers all the energy to the immune system activity. That is the key during infection. So it's a normal way of our body to concentrate all the energy and all the effort in defending the body. So it's not necessary to eat, because when we eat during this time, we lose energy and we activate the digestive system, and so our body is confused. Is not concentrating defending against invaders, but is divided in doing different activities. So the prolonged fasting must be done in a correct way. So the best way is really to optimize the food during the day in 8 hours and to stop eating for 16 hours. This is a correct time because allow the immune system to reset and to concentrate the energy in we say infection, against infection. Another way to boost our immune system is with the prolonged fasting. In nature, when animals are sick, they stop eating and they focus on resting. The human being is the only animal that keep eating during a period of infection. Actually, the primal instinct that protects the organism is really to transfer all the energy to the immune system and to stop all the other activities, for example, the digestive system. So the best way to support the immune system is to allow the immune system to be concentrated in defending the body and not to have a lack of energy because we are digesting food. The prolonged fasting is helping the natural defense of the body and is not dangerous if you realize it for 16 hours during the day, and you can eat in the rest of the time. So we say 8 hours to eat, 16 hours to stop. And this is called dinner counseling, and allow to proceed with the normal life, so doesn't create any deep weakness in the organism, but it's enough to reset the immune system and to give more strength in the natural defense of the organism. When we stop eating, actually, we also allow a deep detoxifying action on our digestive system. So what we suggest is to drink a lot, to avoid any sugar. So we say natural juices or water with lemon for 16 hours, not more than 16 hours. Another natural way to boost our immune system is doing physical activity every day. A regular, constant physical activity, and I mean 20-30 minutes per day of medium activity, moderate physical activity, is able to optimize the blood circulation, and through the blood, the immune system cells are able to reach every single part of our organism, and so to check and contrast the invasion of pathogen and the infection. During the physical activity, we also produce and release specific hormones that are cooperate with the immune system to optimize its performance. For example, the growth hormones. Without physical activity, actually, we produce inflammatory proteins that are damaging the organism each day. And now let's talk about stress management. Everybody knows stress is dangerous, but actually stress is a natural answer of our body to an aggression. So it's something that we should have to be defense against invasion. But when the stress becomes chronic, actually the release of cortisol is too high and we have several damage in our organism. For example, nervous system, but also heart are mainly damaged by stress. So we must find a way to control the stress, to manage the stress. There are several activities that can help to manage stress. For example, listen music or doing meditation or yoga. They are decreasing the level of stress and protecting our body. Last but not the least, remember that sleep is influencing our immune system. And I mean a regular and constant sleep. The correct quantity is 7-8 hours per night. During this time, our organism is producing specific hormones like melatonin that are giving more effort to the immune system, are boosting our immune system to work better. Some simple sleep tips can help us to be sure about the quality of our sleep. For example, create some sleep rituals with essential oil or soft music, relaxing music. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. each day and avoid digital and blue light at least 1 hour before going to sleep. Okay. This is the end of my presentation, and so thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you will enjoy the rest of the Global Wellness Day celebration and stay well.